today, friends and family. Welcome back to another video. As always, I hope everybody's having a blessed day. If not, I will be praying that it gets better. Now, in today's video, we will be talking about the temptation of Jesus. So sit back, relax, listen, comprehend, and learn to view the world through the eyes of the prophet. Alright guys, so before I get started, I want to first say I'm going to be changing my YouTube channel name because the prophet is not searchable when you search it. I don't know if some of you searched the prophet and found my channel, but I highly doubt it because I can't even look it up on other people's or on my other channel. I can't find it if I search up the prophet. So that being said, I don't know if it's purposely like that or if it's God saying I need to change my name, but I know what I'm going to change my name to. And so when I do my next intro, I probably won't have that song intro. I'll probably, not by my next video, but I'll make another one. And when I introduce myself, I will introduce the new name, and the new name will probably be in the header. And then I'll change everything from there. And that being said, let's get to the video. I was wondering what video I could make, and it just hit me literally like right now. So I did my normal routine. I woke up, I did my prayers, I did my meditation, I walked under. No ideas came to me, so I hopped on YouTube, started watching videos. No ideas came to me. Then I sat there for a little bit and boom, I didn't even have to think about it. But something told me to talk about this story of Jesus in the desert when he was being tempted, because in religion we get this false view. In religion we get this false idea. In religion we understand it in a way that is not true. And because of that, we overlook our own temptations. So let's take a look at this. The Spirit drives Jesus Christ to the desert, right? Well, when he's in the desert, it says he is tempted by Satan. Okay. So Satan says, if you're the Son of God, turn this stone to bread. And Jesus says, man does not live on bread alone, but by the word of God. Okay? Fast forward, he says, if you're the Son of God, let me see you jump from this mountain, basically, and fall to your death, because if you are, God will not let that happen and he will save you. And what did Jesus say? Not to tempt God. So him doing that would be of his own will, willingly deciding to kill himself. So why would God save you if you're doing that? Of course, duh. But go on. The next temptation is, bow down to me and I will offer you everything in this world. And what did Jesus say? No. Get away, Satan. Flee from me. Leave me alone. And then what happens next? The angel shows up. So, when we hear this story and we think about it, we are literally visualizing it as being easy. I used to think that he went in there and he knocked it out easy. And I'm sure most people think that. Why? Because we are raised in religion that he's the Son of God and that everything happens just like that. That he passed with flying colors. He did, but it wasn't without trial. It wasn't easy. Because if you think about it, we can't even do it. Why? Because it's not easy. So who actually tempted Jesus? Quit thinking that Satan was in physical form and that he was there tempting Jesus. I don't know if this is going to offend some of you guys, but think about it. Everything you understand about life, about yourself. Has Satan ever come directly to you? And whatever choice you have, has he ever come face to face with you and been like, here, do this? Or has he been like, bow down to me and the world is yours? Has he been to you face to face every day when you're being tempted? No. What is it that tempts you? It is your ego. Your ego is what tempts you guys. Jesus, when he was out in the desert, he was being tempted by his ego. Now you're probably saying, nah, I don't want to listen to this no more. Do not click out of this video. Just listen. Just comprehend this. This makes more sense than Satan tempting him that whole time. Why? Because Jesus knew his potential. Jesus knew his power. Jesus knew everything that was possible. He knew with God anything was possible. So imagine being out in the desert. Ego thoughts are going to be fluttering around in the brain somewhere, fluttering around in your head somewhere. Imagine you're the one in the desert. Imagine the Spirit called you to the desert. How would you feel? What would you think? He was out there, right, with no food. So the first couple of days was probably when he got that first temptation. He was literally like, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry. But what did he remember? Man doesn't live on bread alone. It was his spirit. He knew if he asked his father he wanted bread or he was hungry, he would get it. But he also knew that he could live without it. He knew that it was the flesh that wanted it. He knew it wasn't his spirit that wanted the bread. So he kept going. That was probably the first couple of days. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days. I don't know. But that's probably when that first temptation kicked in. Whenever he was hungry. And so his mind was like, just ask for bread. Make this bread. If I make this bread, I won't be hungry. And what did he do? He denied the temptation. He said, no, I can do it. Because remember, as I've said in previous videos, and as you know by now, there's only one way to God. There's one way to connect to him, and it's through your spirit. It's not through the flesh. So by him denying that bread shows how hungry he was for God. He wasn't going to satisfy his flesh, but he was going to push through it to satisfy his spirit. And fast forward a couple of more days, he's still hungry. And I don't know if he had water. I don't think the Bible says he had water. So if he had no water, then he was thirsty. Now think about it. Do you think he was thinking about suicide? I know it's kind of hard to picture Jesus thinking about suicide. But just think about it for a little bit. He was a man just like you. He probably wasn't saying, it probably wasn't very strong. It probably just crossed his mind. Like, what would happen if I jumped from here? Would God come save me? That's all it was. And what did Jesus say? Do not tempt God. If I jump from my own free will, then God will not save me. Anybody with common sense would know that. Now, if somebody pushed me off, I'm going to land in a pit of foam. But of my own free will, I am not saved. I must trust in God. And I'm not going to jump off. Wow. So he denied a second temptation coming from his ego. The ego is what wanted bread. The ego is what was making him feel like he was suffering. He was being worn down day by day. In the desert, it's hot out there, guys. He didn't have no food. He probably didn't have water either. He was literally being tempted by his ego. We get tempted by our ego every day. And where are we stuck on everyday sins? We give in every single day. That's why we are not qualified to be like Jesus. That's why none of us are like Jesus. Because we do not deny the flesh. We give in to the flesh. We oversleep. We overeat. We lust. We do all sorts of things. And when I say lust, lust does not have to do with just lusting over women or lusting over men. Lust has to do with the world, which was his last temptation. He knew that he could stray away from the path of God and literally have the world. That's what was happening. That last temptation, it was more of the ego saying, look, you've been out here so long and you still have not seen God. Do you really think this will help you? Do you really think he exists? That's what his ego was telling him. And he's like, just give up right now. You've learned enough of the law of God that you can apply it and you can be rich. You can have this, the money, the girls, the fame. You can have everything. All you have to do is bow down to me. Bow down to what I want. Bow down to the world. But Jesus was not shaken. Jesus said, no, get away from me, Satan. Right? That's basically what happened. He said, I know I haven't seen God. I know he exists though. And if I continue to say no to myself, if I continue to deny myself, then I will see God. And that's what happened. After that, the angel showed up. And after that, the rest is history. Think about it, guys. Jesus being tempted in the desert was not by Satan, but it was by his ego, which is Satan. Don't give in to your ego. Don't give in to sin or temptation or none of that. If you truly want God, you gotta push your hardest and do not believe the lie from your ego. I know today's video was a little short. That's not good, that's not bad, it's just a video. I came in here talking about what I felt needed to be talked about, what I felt the Spirit led me to. And that's fine. Some people are going to accept the explanation, some people are not. I know a lot of people are not going to like hearing this. But when you read the Bible and you read the stories, they were written in stories for a reason. They have a deeper meaning. The story isn't the story. You may think, wow, that story is amazing. Don't get stuck on the story alone. Understand what actually happened. Understand the actual teaching of it. Understand it on a deeper spiritual level. That's what these stories are. All of these stories are to help you to reach God. They are not to get stuck on, to marvel on. There's more to it. When you look past the story, most of the time, you can find the interpretation. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. I really hope y'all enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe and also hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future uploads. I love you guys. I pray that you prosper. I pray that you grow. And I pray that you receive all that you desire. This has been The Prophet, and I'm out.